that thing. What you need to do is, here's middle C. Find an octave above that. And find an octave above that. And essentially below that C that you were just on, you're going to put your left hand on a D and an F sharp like this. I usually use, you could use whichever fingers you want. I tend to use index finger and fourth finger like that. Okay? Your thumb is going to be on an A, and then your index finger needs to be kind of in this D area, and then fourth finger or ring finger and pinky are going to be on F sharp and G respectively, like so. So let's look at what the left hand is doing first. The left hand plays a very important role in this little lick because it's on the downbeats. It's at the beginning of the phrases. So what you have is you play a D and F sharp like this, and then it moves down to a C and an E like so. Then it moves to a B and a D, and then a B flat and a D. And then it does it again. D and F sharp, C and E, B and D, B flat and D. Okay? So I'm not going to, I'll show you how to do the right hand in a second, but I'm going to play the right hand with it and just watch my left hand and see how it factors in. Okay? So D and F sharp, C and E, B and D, B flat and D. Now you actually go through that rotation just one time at as the intro, and then you drum it down and you do the same thing an octave lower, so then you're here. Okay? But then at the end of the song you just kind of camp out up here as long as you want to and just kind of vamp on for a while. So, again, that's really all that's happening there is D and F sharp, C and E, B and D, B flat and D. So what is the right hand doing? Watch here. If this is the downbeat, 1. So if we're in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, this is 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. On the end of 1, 1 and 2 is when your right hand comes in. 1 and. So 1 and, 1 and. Okay, now the right hand line is A, D, and then a little twinkle here. F sharp to G, back to F sharp. Now I tend to play it with fourth and fifth, or sometimes I'll even play it with third and fourth. Or I might do it here. So it really doesn't matter to me. It depends on how big your hands are and what you want to play that line with, but it's A, D, F sharp, G, F sharp, then back to D, then A, D. So watch it real slow. Or if you want to use these fingers. Okay, so that's the first part of the line. Well, this is as good a time as any for me to make my standard disclaimer that I am going to make some goofs and some errors today, and I apologize for that. It's not that I don't know it, it's not that I'm not good enough to play it, it's just that one of the things that I try to do, there's two things I try to do to make the experience better for you. One is to keep the fingers that are not playing notes out of the picture as much as possible, so that because if I just have my hand here and I go, I think it's harder to tell what I'm playing, and so I try to be clear down here on the front as much as possible and move these other fingers out of the way so you can really see what's happening. And frankly, that's a tricky way to play the piano, and I'm going to make some mistakes. When I do, I will own it, say, I goofed, sorry, ignore that, let's try it again. But I will make some mistakes probably because of that. The other thing is that I stare up at the video monitor all the time, because that's telling me exactly what it is you're seeing, and that helps me make sure that the image that you get is something that will help you learn how to play it, instead of just me putting on a little show. But the video monitor is about that big for me. For you, it'll be your entire computer screen or TV screen, but for me, it's just this tiny little screen. So, between those two things, I make a few goofs. I apologize in advance for that. I will do my best, but ultimately, I'm going to do what I think is in your best interest for learning. So we've learned this much so far. Now we move down to this C and E. Now, I'm going to work first on the original version, the Turnstiles album version. It goes here. Okay, so play your C and G, and it's A, E, D, A, D. One more time, slow. Then okay, so let's look at that, the two lines together, real slow. Now we play our B and our D. And you do the same thing, A, E, D, A, D. And you do it one more time when you play this little B flat and D here. Okay? So that whole line from what we've learned so far in slow motion looks like this. Let me slow that down even further. One more time slow, and then I'll play it at the real tempo. Okay, so when you play it at tempo, it comes off like this. Okay, now we simply move everything down one octave. So now here's where you're at on your left hand, and your right hand is here. Same beginning. Bum 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 bada bum bum bum. But instead of moving up to the D there, it's